we always joke on the show that we don't talk about Fred a lot because like we know what we expect to get from Fred like every night, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not as interesting to just say, hey, once again, Fred was, the anchor of the team and Fred came through in the fourth quarter because you just repeatedly do that. You come to just expect it, right?
Yeah.
But I know Fred struggled on Saturday. Like you mentioned, he was 1 of 11 from 3, 4 of 18.
But that's also
overall.
part of the point, right? Like he struggles shooting, but
yes,
in terms of his approach to the game,
yes,
we know that is consistent. We know that is the same.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, I've always just boiled it down to like, when the Raptors have Fred in the lineup, like they can be like a really good team even if they're shorthanded. And if they don't, then they're just a lottery team. Like I really think he's that important. But anyways, Will, you have some notes in here about Fred's struggles.
Yeah. It's just been interesting because
if you could take your eye off, USA versus Wales.
It's a big matchup. What can I say? Again, move the show to 1 p.m. please. There's a break. But anyway, like to me with Fred, it's been a strange thing because at the start of the season, it was so much about taking a step back, right? Like allowing other guys to sort of take over the offense, and you saw it. Like 2 of the first 3 games. He shoots only 9 times in a game. By the way, he played 39 minutes and 39 minutes in both those games. He only shot 9 times. We've seen games where Fred shoots 9 times in a quarter, and they're all threes. You know what I mean? Like, so there was a noticeable step back in terms of the aggression, in terms of how to balance out the team. And then, of course, he has that back injury, that Philadelphia game, 0 of 11. It's just strange because he's come into the game sometimes and really dominated, right? I thought when he came back from the back injury with Pascal out, he had 30 against Chicago, 27 against Chicago, 32 against Houston. Like, that was a great stretch. But to me, it's been strange watching steady Freddie not necessarily piece together entire weeks where he's consistent, right? He's either really on or really off this year. And I thought that game against Atlanta, he was really off to the point where they didn't even look for him offensively in the fourth quarter and in overtime. He was just kind of like an accessory piece to the rest of the offense where OG got every single play coming out of the timeout and Scotty had the ball each time down. When do you ever see that? Even with Pascal in the lineup, Fred is at least somewhat involved in terms of the screening, in terms of the shooting. Even we've seen games where
the Pascal Fred pick and roll is what we've seen over and over in crunch time, right?
Yeah, and we've even seen recently like the Raptors running that same play, but with Scotty in Pascal's place, or even OG in Pascal's place. Not to the same extent because I think they really need a lot more reps with it. But I'm just not used to or being accustomed to seeing Fred like really take a step back at certain times, and so. I don't know. What do you make of that, V? Like the fact that he hasn't really pieced together like consistent performances week in and week out.
So I'm looking at the Fred who's come back post injury a little bit differently than I did the one who was playing before that. I think.
Okay.
I think the guy who was playing before that was definitely just trying to fit in, seeing where he could fill in with some offense, but mainly looked to be like a catch and shoot guy, and play off what Pascal, Scotty were doing. And I think since he's come back, since he said he's watched some film, he's like, hey, I got to maintain that aggression, right? So I look at the Atlanta game more as just like an off night. Like even credit to him for recognizing on that final play of regulation that, hey, okay, I'm going to try and draw some attention.
He did the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
He beat DeJounte Murray off the dribble. That's hard to do, man. Murray's a lot quicker and a lot bigger than him.
Exactly. And then when the moment comes, he makes the pass. So I think I really like the way that Fred has played since he's come back from the injury. This was an off night, but as you mentioned, those 30-plus point games, he's been really, really good. And, if there's a way to maintain this aggression when Pascal is back as well, I think that'll be great for the team.
Yeah, I'm not that concerned with Fred. I think I agree with V in that after he came back and with Pascal out, like the circumstances just changed for him, right? Like
Sure.
I'm looking at his numbers now. Like he's averaging almost 20 shots a game in November.
Yep.
And compared to even last year when he was making obviously that all-star push and the ball was in his hands more, like he shot like 17 times a game. And he's still around his like averages, 37% from 3, around 40% from the field, which is around his like career numbers. Yeah, I just think it's hard for Fred too because he has to play so many roles on like any given night. And sometimes you're like weighing against like whether Scotty's having an aggressive night, whether OG's going, whether any of the other secondary guys are going. And so it's kind of like a push and pull for him too. So
he does have to adapt to the rest of the team as much as possible, which I guess is what you want to see from your leaders, right? Like if guys don't have it, it's your job to step up. And if guys do have it, obviously you just lay it off and have an easier night. But I don't know. For him, it's also like physically, are you a little bit concerned? Because he was not moving well. Like you mentioned the start of the third quarter where the Raptors came off to a slow start. I thought a lot of that was Trey turning the corner on Fred and DeJounte Murray turning the corner on Fred. And to me, it's just like defense is one of those non-negotiables, especially with a guy who can be defensively excellent like Fred VanVleet.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen him have problems with speedy guards, right? And I think this is a situation where maybe you look at the matchups a bit. If it is something that he's battling through physically a little bit, he's probably not going to reveal it right now when this team is so depleted.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I think on the whole, since the injury, he has played really well. I really look at the Atlanta game as an off night. He just struggled. And I expect to see a much better shooting performance on Wednesday.